Hey, and what's up?
Subscribe now.
My YouTube family. It's your beauty industry coach, Celeste Noel.
Let's mold it down. Let's get to the mullet.
So I'm going to start in the back, utilizing the longer wefts. Right here at the very bottom of the nape area. And the reason being is because I'm creating a mullet. And it's going to be a short, trendy, like pixie type mullet. So it's like a remix of the mullet. It's not going to all be long and full. It's going to be more so tight in the sides and in the back, and just a little longer pieces in the bottom. You'll see. Stay tuned. All right. So if you're still here, you make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Getting into it, as you can see, I am applying my 30-second glue. And I'm putting it on my weft. And this is my 12-inch weft. I've already molded my hair down and have my stocking cap on. And if you were wondering why I was waving it back and forth, that is my fanning the adhesive to make sure that it gets tacky. I need it to be tacky because the more tacky it is, the more it will stick. And I'm applying pressure. I'm applying pressure because I want to make sure that it actually goes through my cap. Now, I'm using 12-inch and I'm utilizing a 10 because I want it to be kind of wispy in the back and I want it to be wispy on the side, along with I am applying my wefts very, very close. You can also use the blow dryer. The blow dryer actually helps it dry as well. But if you don't use a blow dryer, you don't fan it back and forth. Apply the pressure so that it can stick properly. Okay, so I have 3 rows in the back. And the reason I did it because I wanted to be edgy. I wanted to be wispy. I don't want it to be too thick. So I have 3 rows of my longer hair in the back and I have them very close together. The reason I have them close together is because when I start cutting, I want to make sure that there aren't any holes. Now I'm utilizing a 12-inch and I also use a 10-inch. So 1 12 and 2 10s. The reason is because I have leftover hair. Utilize your leftover hair. Don't just throw it away. With inflation being so severe, you better know how to reserve. Everything is not trash. Just let me help you out. Everything isn't trash. Make sure you got some extra hair. Hold on to the hair. It'll save your life, especially in a hard time. There's nothing like having some leftover hair where you can just whip up something. Because I definitely know I can get in there and make, as they say, some lemonade out of those lemon pieces of straps. This is always my favorite part because I know the significance of my 27 piece. This is my longest piece of the 27 piece and I have it flat ironed. I flat ironed it straight. You already know if you watched any of my other videos, I told you the importance of it is because we're not dealing with wiggy, right? So I have 3 that I'm putting right here in the back on top of the 3 longer pieces that I already have. I'm utilizing my adhesive and I'm going to apply pressure again, make sure that it sticks. Keeping them close together is key. It's very significant because when we go to cut, we don't want no butts. We want to make sure that when we're done, it's just like, but no, we're not going to do any of that. Make sure that you are keeping your wefts almost on top of each other because the cut is the key to a successful style. Now, this is exactly what it should look like in the back. It should look exactly like that. So now that we have the back part installed, what I'm doing now is I'm going to move around on the side and I'm back to my longer length hair because I'm going to make this a trending mullet, edgy, cute, or whatever. So I want to leave longer pieces on the side because you'll see why in just a minute near the end, because I want to give it more of a, you know, like a flair to it. So utilizing my longer pieces, I'm literally going to put about 4 right here on the side and 4 on this side. And as you can see, I stretch it so you can see it. I'll start right up in here. You don't want to start down here because for one, when the hair starts pulling, it can actually be it hurts. So start right here, this area right up in here. And the reason being is because you have a little bit more hair right there versus that little tip down there. So make sure you start up here, right here, even with the top of the ear. So I'm going to measure it. And I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to cut, you see that? I'm going to cut 3 more of these. Same length. Your sideburns, I'm going to always say it, are key because they literally make the hairstyle look great. You already know that though. Those sideburns aren't right, even with your baby hairs on your weaves. If the sideburns aren't right, I'm just going to do 3. The sideburns don't look good. It just throws off everything. So eat the same thing in this particular case. Whenever you're doing any hair extensions, if it has any type of sideburns, even your haircuts, even your hairstyles. Anything that shows sideburns are important. You don't want them too thick, you don't want them too thin, but you want them to be just right for the style that you have. So there we go. Fan that whenever you fan it, that makes it tacky. There's so many other ways to make this tacky. Of course, we know that you can use Got to Be glue. You can use other hairsprays, anything to actually cause it to be a bit more sticky. You can spray that on the cap. In this case, I did not, but I'm gonna sit it right there. Now, this is the point where you will use your blow dryer just to kind of blow it dry in place. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hold mine there because either way it's going to dry. And I'm applying pressure. I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. You see the vision, or don't you? All right, so as you can see, I have my back already installed and I have my longer pieces on the side. I'm going right back to my longer piece of my 27 piece that I've already flat ironed. The reason I'm actually going back to my longer 27 piece on the side is because once I bring it from the front of my hairline, taking it around the back, the thing is when I start cutting, I need this sideburn piece to be able to blend in naturally versus it going from short to long. Sometimes if you don't know how to cut properly, going from short to long, you can actually see that transition. Remember, the ultimate goal for when you're doing hair extensions is you want it to look as natural as possible. So if I have this hair of the 27 piece, the longer part of the 27 piece, if I place that on top of it, I have more room to actually play with and to blend it. As you can see, the drop, it's a little bit longer. Now, you know we're not gonna leave all that, but if it's too short and you don't know how to cut, you will jack it up. So remember, utilize your longer pieces of the 27 piece when you are starting to go from the front hairline, when you're starting to actually go around your head to lay these tracks or the wefts on top of your sideburns. And I'm gonna put like 3 rows. And the reason I'm putting 3 rows is, again, 3 rows that are close, because when they're close, you have a better chance of not creating a hole, and it allows that hair to lay flat, and you can always go back in there and remove. So when I do them close and I'm putting more on there, then that means there's more hair to actually work with and blend versus putting shorter tracks and kind of having them far apart. When you start cutting, it looks, again, wiggy. It just doesn't look good, and it's not giving you the look that you want. Ain't nothing worse than standing in line and saying, oh, keep doing this right here. You ever been in line and heard that lady say, oh, honey, I got to do my hair. My hair messed up in the back. She trying to talk to you because she already know it's jacked up, and she think you looking at it, which you are, and is. But with that being said, we don't do that over here on the Silly's Noel channel. We give instructions, and we give instructions to the degree that you are able to actually go be successful when creating these hairstyles. And if you listen to what I'm telling you to work, because I've been doing this forever. And if it don't work, let me know, and we're gonna see what happened, where you went wrong at. But again, I'm going from the front to the back, and I pretty much, when I'm standing close together, I literally, if you can see, got it like laying right on top of that track, right on top of it. And that's what close looks like it's no room for error. The closer you keep them, the better it is. All right, so let's get into it. That's right. Now let's get right into it. Applying our adhesive and making sure that we apply our wefts really close. You know, sometimes when you're doing your hair, it can be tedious, but I'm just going to tell you, it's so worth it when it comes down to saving you some money if you're in any type of financial challenge, or also increasing your skills. You are walking advertisement for your business. So when you look good and feel good, you attract the right clients. So this is what we should have so far. We should have our longer pieces in the back, our longer pieces of the 27 pieces right here. We have 3 of those. And then we have our long hair on the sides. We actually did 3 of those, cut those small to put them on the side. And then we started utilizing still the longer pieces of the 27 piece to go from ear to ear, or shall I say from temple to temple, making sure that we keep the longer pieces of the 27 piece so that when it is time to cut these sideburns, we can actually blend it and make it look natural. All right, so my stocking cap be itching. Woo, and it had your face looking, you see how? But anyway, all right, so now we're gonna get into utilizing our shorter pieces of our 27 piece. This is because this is where the fun part about to start. So now I'm utilizing my shorter pieces to keep them tight on the side. These are straight. I flat ironed them because they look so much better. Flat iron. Stop using that hair wiggy ready. It's not, it's truly wiggy ready in that pack. But when you take it out of the pack, you have to customize your hair. That's an extra charge. Tell them you're gonna have to customize the 27 piece. But you actually have to, you literally have to customize it. Customization, we're not taking it right out of the pack and putting it into our client's hair. We are customizing it with heat. I mean, you got to take time to do that. You can definitely get your little charge of a good 10, 15, maybe $20. It all depends on, what your skill set is worth. But I'm just saying you do have to alter the hair because of the type of hair that they need to use. Or, I'm just saying, it takes time. So now what we're going to be doing is utilizing these medium length, going from temple to temple. And we're going to do this all the way up. This right here is your parietal ridge. The parietal ridge is the widest part of the head. This is important. Why is this important? Because if this right here isn't right, it throws everything else off. Your sideburns, extremely important. Parietal ridge is extremely important. Bang area, extremely important. What goes on in the back and kind of like in the top, we can kind of, manipulate it a little bit and make it work. But anytime you mess up sideburns, the side of the hair, oh God, don't talk about the bang. And that closure from the apex to the front of the hairline to the parietal ridge, which is the side area, all of this area right here. If you have that not proportion, there's no balance there, get prepared for the client to tell you she like it. It's cool, it's cute, I like it. And when she get home, whoever, the husband, the children, start telling her the truth. Now she told you she liked it before she left the salon. As soon as she get home, you get that phone call or the text message. I don't know, something just isn't right about it. I'm just trying to figure out it. I really don't like it. And you want to say as a stylist, well, when you just left, you said you liked it. But she's actually gone home and somebody's giving her, some feedback on their hairstyle and told her that they didn't like it. And when they give her the feedback, now she got to call you back to give you the feedback because she's more concerned about what they said. And sometimes clients genuinely love their hair, but somebody else can tell them that they don't like it. And guess what happened? They instantly want to change it. Now that right there is the worst to me. That is why we must continue to talk to our clients. And when we're talking to our clients, guess what? It's our responsibility to make sure that we're giving them words of encouragement. Make sure you tell them, you look so good. This style looks great on you. You have to make sure that you're doing your job because sometimes they're not being told that at home, but the more compliments you give, the better they feel about it. Especially when you're posting their stuff on social media and then your clients or whoever your followers are, they go and they compliment, this looks good, she looks great. Those things boost their self-esteem. And as professionals, as individuals who's in this for our purpose, and it definitely is a ministry, we are to tell them how good they look. I don't care if she do get on your nerves. But we know they can definitely do that. However, make sure you're telling your clients you look good. Make sure you don't just let them leave out of the salon and you don't like the way it looks because you got somewhere to go and your babe waiting on you. No, he gonna have to wait because you want to make sure that you're keeping your clients happy. I get it though. Back to what I was just saying, making sure we're utilizing those short pieces and we're coming from ear to ear, and we're going to do that all the way up here to the top of the occipital bone. Let's go. I'm sorry, parietal ridge. To the top of the parietal ridge. This is the occipital bone, parietal ridge. Let's go. So this is what we should be looking like right now. This is all of my parietal ridge that's been done. This is exactly what it should look like.
Hey, I ain't no superstar looking like a wig, it won't be. Oh, I am good enough and it won't look wiggy. Okay, so as you can see, I'm about to start operating right here in the most important part as well. However, you did hear me say that in the back, you can kind of get away with it a little bit because the back you can kind of camouflage. It's still important that you do not have that hump right there in the top. As you can see, I'm pressing that down. When you are applying your wefts in the back, and as you can see, I'm doing like a crescent placement, you want to make sure that you are still pulling and pushing down that hair that's right there, just so it can be trapped down and pushed further down. That's why I have that ponytail, and it's soft because it's pliable. So be mindful of that.
This is what you should have so far. We brought it all the way up here to the crown and a little bit to the top of the head. So this is what we should have. Now, we're gonna start closing it up right here with our shorter and medium pieces. Let's go.
However, this is a very important part, and this is the part that I love, and my clients love it even more, because you get that relief. There's nothing like cutting that band when you are doing a quick weave, just to relieve your brain of some pressure. Me can't take it, man. Please cut it, because seriously, it'll kill me. Me can't manage it. Kill me ass.
Yeah! This is my medium length. So now I'm gonna start right here. And I'm actually gonna do 2 rows right here.
All right, so let's go ahead and get to it and really stand on business. I'm applying my adhesive. As I just said, I'm going to apply 2 wefts right here in the front. Your bang area is super duper important. I want my hair to be able to go forward. That's where I want the most emphasis. That's where I want it the heaviest is at. It's right there coming straight forward. But the hair itself, I can actually move it left or right, but I don't want it to have a natural lay to the left. Now, I'm going to be closing it up, and you got to make sure that that center part is closed up right. Let me say that again. You have got to make sure that the closure is closing in the right place. If it's closed back too far, it's going to look off. If it's closed up too close to the front hairline, it's going to look off. It's going to look like we're working with wiggy, and we don't do that over here on the Celeste Noel channel. So pay close attention to where I am pointing when I'm talking about closing it in the proper place. Now, as you can see, this is how it should look so far. And you see how I just told you guys, you see where I'm pointing? Right at the top. Right there, not so far back, right there. Keep it right there, please. And when it comes down to keeping it right there, I don't care what you have to do when you're closing it. You want to keep it right there. Now, this is my favorite part, and that is actually creating my little palm tree. For those of you that don't know, I am originally from Florida, Panama City Beach. And again, I'm Celeste Noel, your beauty industry coach. And I have rolled that hair up, and what I'm doing is I'm flat ironing it, and I'm flat ironing the wefts as well, and I'm curling it. As you can see, I'm kind of putting a little bend in it. That way it causes that centerpiece and those wefts to actually lay flat. It's flat right now. You see how I'm bending that? Because that heat caused that glue to melt, and it's melting right in the direction. You see, that's a perfect placement at the top. Perfect placement at the top. So I'm dabbing my adhesive on my closure. Not too much, because if you put too much, it's going to cause that glue to come through that hair. And there's nothing like talking to someone and you're like, hi. And all you do is look right there in the top. You can't even help but to see that glue. It's just like, come on. All right, let's get to cutting. I'm using my razor comb. Those wefts are so close together that when I am cutting this hair, and as you can see, I am truly going over that hair back and forth, and I'm doing it just somewhat like in a sketching, coloring. If you were coloring on a book, I'm just going back and forth, up and down, really, really close. And I don't care how I hit it. It is not going to put a hole in it because I have those wefts so close together. As I told you in the beginning, it's key. You come on and you tell me that I can do that with my eyes closed and I'm cutting it in the back. This is what I want to make sure that you guys understand. The closer they are, you see that? I don't have a mirror at all. I'm just touching and feeling. It's a beautiful thing when you do it properly. And you too can experience this. I don't care where I'm cutting. I'm continuing to razor that hair, and it is not putting a hole. It doesn't look wiggy, and it's going to look great, and it's looking natural. You see how that looks? So when it comes down to my longer pieces, I'm just kind of not cutting them too much, but I am allowing it. Remember, I put the longer 27 pieces in the back on top of the 12 and 10 inch, and along with the sides. As you can see, I told you guys to leave that a little bit long so I can blend it properly versus going from short to just a drastic transition. You want it to look natural. Now my sideburns, I'm continuing to just feather it like I'm just doing like a sketching coloring technique back and forth. And I'm just customizing it. But to get this look, I'm going to be honest with you, it's super easy. It's just you have to take time. We're not in a rush. When you're going to do your hair, anytime you're watching my videos, if I can ask you anything, whenever you're watching these videos, make sure it's a day that you actually have time to do your hair, because I want to make sure that you feel good about it and that it actually looks good. If you got somewhere to go, this is not the time you want to just do that on the day that you have somewhere to go, excuse me, unless you're doing it earlier in the day. But it may take you a little bit of time, and we want to make sure that you get it right. There's nothing like doing your hair and you're not satisfied with it. It's just not, and we know that. And as I told you earlier, you are walking advertisement. If you are a stylist, if you're not a stylist, if you're trying to build your business in this beauty industry, the key to success is you be your brand. You got to look like you believe in your own brand before anybody else can. And you styling your hair, you're going to get plenty of stops. And who did your hair? And that's where it all begins, the conversation. Yep, I'm curling it, and I have a small curling iron. You can use a twig. You can use one that's much smaller. This is the one I actually currently had on hand, and I'm just bumping it because I don't want any real curls, because you're going to see how I tie that thing down, and when I tie it down, it just works wonders. Tying it down just causes that hair to fuse properly. It's almost like when you wrap your bob. You know how you get your hair done? It's like, it'll look better when I wrap it, and it's always the truth, because it causes the hair to just settle. It's like anytime something settles, you already know it's going to be on point. So I'm just curling it, and I'm curling it in directions toward the front and just picking up pieces in the back and curling it. Now my sides, remember I told you I wanted them to be kind of wispy. I am doing the back and forth technique, and as you see, we're looking a little Elvis Presley over there, but we're definitely not going to leave Elvis Presley in the building. He got to go. So I wanted it to be wispy, somewhat like that Demi Lovato look. I love her hair when she had that mullet, and this is pretty much what this is given. So remember, your sideburns are everything. As you just said, I said, we can't do that. We would not leave those sideburns looking like that. But this train gonna keep on rolling. And as you can see, I'm doing the exact same thing in the back, just making it, I'm utilizing my wave technique forward and back, but I still got to come back and customize. Again, when I told you to take your time, customization is key. As you can see, I'm moving slow because I want this to be perfect how I like it. I want to feel good about this hairstyle, so I'm taking my time. As you can see how it's kind of laying flat on the side, but you just wait till you see how it look when I take that stocking cap off. So make sure you do have a stocking cap on hand. Again, for those of you who do not know, it's your beauty industry coach, Celeste Noel. I'm here ready to show you the great reveal. You see how I put that face on, taking those glasses off? That's because it's about to be so real trouble. Watch the difference that having your scarf on, your silk scarf on, makes. You ready? There it is. I so love this hair. As you can see, Stylist Education, that's the name of my brand. I have some hands-on training classes that are coming. I'm going to have some Patreon. We're going to be doing some special stuff this year. There's a specific style that you like, please let me know. I'm utilizing my brush. You can utilize a wide tooth comb, but as you can see, it is absolutely amazing. I love a short, cute cut, and it's spring in 2024. I'm ready. Very simple hairstyle to do. It makes you feel good. That's how you like what? Feeling good, looking good, and there's nothing like loving your hair to the degree where you just want to sway back and forth. Again, I am Celeste Noel, your beauty industry coach, and we just did a short mullet. Yes, we did. Short mullet, wispy size, and I absolutely love it. Like I told you, when you look good, you feel good. And if you are building a brand in the beauty industry, you need to be walking advertisement. It's your girl, Celeste Noel, your beauty industry coach. Toodles.
Subscribe now.